Hi, everybody. This is Ohio Business Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Pohl, and today we are joined with Rebecca Gordon of Stella and Shay Beauty Bar. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So, kind of give a description of the beauty bar and then what your role is in operations.
Sure. So we have two locations. I'm the sole owner, and we have one in Lakewood and one in Westlake. We offer a range of beauty services from hair, nails, bridal services, spa services, spray tanning.
And then when is that Pittsburgh location coming up?
So our third location will be opening in Pittsburgh, hopefully in April, so next month.
Oh, awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Has COVID affected those plans at all, or?
It has slightly. Pennsylvania is a little bit, I don't know if it would be like delayed or just further behind than Ohio about opening things back up to full capacity.
Mhm.
So it has made it a little bit difficult. Nothing crazy, but we also thought just waiting till the weather was a little bit nicer and things were back downtown, because we're right in a downtown location there, it would be a little bit better.
So what was your journey in creating Stella and Shay, and what was that process like?
So, okay, well, it can go back to I started at a salon in a mall, and that's where I learned to do nails. I worked there for 2.5 years. After 6 months, the manager left and they offered me the position of managing. So I took that and I worked there for another 2 years. Moved to Cleveland because my now husband is here. And I kind of did some odd and ends jobs, just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Um, my neighbor at the time actually owned a salon. So I went and worked for her for 3 years. And I just had my own little space. It was just me by myself for the most part, doing nails. And then I just decided that it was time to make a change, and I needed more. And if I wanted a family someday, how can I be making money but be home with my kids? And so that's kind of, I started looking at spaces and I found my space in Lakewood. So
And then when did you open up that Westlake location?
So Lakewood was May of 2016, and then Westlake was November of 2018.
Okay. So about 5 years you've been running, and now you have almost 3 stores.
Yes, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it will be 5 years officially. I just thought about that again this morning. I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. And then, yeah, and then April will be, hopefully, if everything goes okay, we'll have our third store open in April.
Well, I think everything's opening up pretty on track. So I bet everything will work out for that. So how big is your team? And then what are some of the services that they offer as well?
Yeah, so our team right now is about 33 people between Lakewood and Westlake. When we start off in Pittsburgh, we'll have a little bit of a smaller team just to start. So probably between all three locations, will be right around 40 um, employees. And then we have mostly everyone that works for Stella and Shay either does like hair or nails. And then a few people that do nails do some spa services. And then we also have one full-time esthetician right now who does all of our skincare, all of our brows, lashes. So most everyone is like hair, nails and spa, or spa, if that makes sense.
Okay. And then did you say tanning services at all?
Yeah, we do just spray tanning. So just like airbrush spray tanning. We have a few service providers that offer that. We have one hair girl that offers it, two nail girls, and then our esthetician.
As you continue to grow, do you see offering more services? I don't know what else there would be, but
Yeah. I mean, we do like we just started offering brow laminations. That's a big thing right now. So we just added those to our service menu probably right before Christmas, I think is when we started offering those. And lash lift and tints were new like last year. So yeah, as we keep growing, new things come out and new services are developed, and we always take a look and do a lot of research before we decide like, oh, we're going to do that. We always make sure like it's a safe service, clients are going to want it. What are the benefits? What are some things we need to know to educate our guests on? So yeah, I can see our service menu expanding in the future for sure.
okay. So once COVID hit, I mean, I didn't get a haircut for I don't know how long. So what was the impact of that on Stella and Shay? And then how did you kind of adapt through all that?
So I actually, it's kind of crazy. It will be, let's see, on Sunday, Sunday, this coming Sunday or next or Monday is the 1 year mark when I decided to close, make the announcement that we were going to be closing. And we closed before governor's orders, which came, I think, like 4 days or 5 days after we had decided to close. Um, so I was actually in Florida visiting my mom. She lives there in the winter, and this all kind of started to pick up right basically as I got there. And so the whole week we just kind of were openly talking about like, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, we had the news on a lot, and just I kind of was. I had another manager who was also in Florida, and we were kind of on the phone a lot. And I just every time I'd call her, I'd say, I'm so sorry that I'm calling you again, but like I know you're on vacation, but I'm just trying to navigate this and figure out if something has to happen, how we're going to go about it. It definitely was not um, an easy decision to make, but truthfully, my employees come before anything else, and like their safety, their health, their families. So of course, when I decided to close, we made the announcement that we would be closed for 2 weeks. We did not, of course, know that we would be closed for 11.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was pretty hard. I mean, I think one thing I will say in this whole process is unless you own a business, you have no idea what it feels like to be a business owner in, in the middle of this, because there were so many moving parts. Like, okay, we're closing. What are my employees going to be able to do? How, they have no income now. If we're not open, nobody can work from home,
Mm-hmm.
and it was definitely very stressful. I can't lie about that. It was something that I hope we never have to go through again. And it was just a lot, like a lot of worry, a lot of worry. And then, it started to get worse. And then more things started to close and more states started to close. And then it was just like, for a while, I had no idea when we would reopen. Like people were like, "Oh, when do you think?" And I was like, "July." Like I was shocked when they said the May 15th date. That I was shocked. I thought we were for sure not going to be given the go until like July at that point, just because of the way things were going.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to imagine just turning off your own source of income voluntarily and then forced, and then also cutting off income to all your employees that are basically your family. So I can
Yeah.
only imagine what that is like. So,
Yeah. And we're
um,
really, I mean, we really are like a tight knit group here. So we FaceTimed each other a lot. We had some Zoom calls. We talked to each other. We texted, I check in on them. And we did some things during shutdown to kind of keep us afloat. We did a lot of like product sales and a lot of like mystery boxes that we put together to help with generate income, because I still had to pay rent on my building. I
mhm,
still had to pay electric bills, gas bills, taxes, insurance. So none of that came to a halt, all while, any income really was coming to a halt. So all those purchases that were made during that time helped us kind of keep afloat until we got back.
mhm. So you kind of shifted towards online. Was it online sales or?
Kind of, yeah. It was like yeah. We did some online sales. Our a couple of our brands actually set up like online stores for us where we didn't have to do anything. People could go on, order, and it was shipped directly to them. And then we put together packages like in the salon, and we ran everything via Instagram. And we did amazing with those. And then we shipped or we delivered depending on like how everything was. Like in the beginning we were delivering because there wasn't like the stay at home order immediately, and then once the stay at home order happened, it was just my niece and I packaging everything, and we would ship it at UPS. We have a UPS store right across in our plaza, so we would just take it there, drop it. They were great, they knew the drill. I just put post-its on everything. They mailed everything out for us, and it was like no contact with any people. And um, so that helped us significantly. And then when things were lifted slightly, we started like delivering again, and the staff would help with that.
Mhm. you talked about how you ran it through Instagram. I that's how I found you. How did you build that Instagram following, and then how have you used it to your advantage?
Um, yeah, we just started with, posting like normal, and we just kept growing a good following, and then clients started posting pictures of their nail. A big thing for us is our nails. So like people started going places and posting vacation pictures with their nails and being at concerts with their nails, and it just like slowly grew. And now people will say like, oh yeah, I was a girl, one of my girls just had to go get her license at the DMV, a new one. And the girl at the counter was like, "Hey, did you get your nails done at Stella and Shay?" And she was like, "I did." And she's like, "I just knew that from looking at them. Like anyone I know gets their nails done there." So it's kind of cool that like you're out and about and people are like, "Hey, like, do you go to Stella and Shay for this?" Or, um, yeah, Instagram has been like my main marketing tactic since we opened. I've paid almost nothing for marketing since we opened. I tried a couple little things, like Lakewood had a new, like if you moved to Lakewood, you got this like thing in the mail where you could get different things from different businesses. Like
Hmm.
that was a total flop. Anything I've really tried other than social media has been like a complete flop. So I just kind of stick with that now. And now we invest more in like our content. We have some people come in and take photos for us that we can post so our page looks a little nicer. And yeah, so that's how we did everything. I took orders via Instagram for mystery boxes. We did like headband sale. We did everything over that. And we had people buying. The cool thing too about that was we had people buying from. I shipped to like Texas, Columbus, Colorado, Vegas, all over. It wasn't even people just in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I had people buying stuff from like the far east side. And I was like, "Oh, like, have you been in before?" Because to find their account. And they're like, "No, we just have followed you, like always wanted to come in." And like people were supporting from everywhere, which is really like it was kind of the one beautiful thing about COVID was just seeing the amount of support um, from people that aren't even clients.
Hmm.
So that was pretty incredible.
Are you going to stick with the Instagram products at all, or are you going to move away from that?
So we do a couple things here and there, randomly through Instagram, but we're hoping maybe in the future to have an actual online store of our own.
Hmm.
That's something we're kind of in the works of talking about right now. Just because we do sell so much product and we have so many clients that drive pretty far to come get their hair done here.
Hmm.
So if they don't have an appointment, they're like, "Oh, shoot, I ran out of this. How can I get it?" So we'll always ship to anybody that wants to get anything, but to have more of like a store where they could pop online, add things to their cart, hit send, and it was, going to be shipped to them. It would be a little bit easier than that just because I do all the social media. So keeping track of it sometimes is a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it gets overwhelming.
Yeah, it
That's for
does. It
sure.
does for sure. Even trying to find your message last night to just ask you about like everything today. I was like, "Oh my gosh, which account was it on?" I had
Yeah.
to, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got your business account, and then you got your personal account, and then you have basically two of every. I have almost two to three of every account for
Yeah.
every platform. It's awful. It's
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, "Wait, where did I see that? Who
yeah,
who sent me that?" Yeah, it does get a little confusing. And now we have the Pittsburgh account too. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a little confusing.
Now, are you guys thinking about doing anything with TikTok at all? Because I feel like that'd be like right up your alley in a way.
Yeah, so that's really funny that you said that. I just downloaded TikTok like uh maybe like a month ago. I would watch it if my friends sent me something,
Hmm.
but I just downloaded it officially and like took like a username for Stella and Shay. I just know that like I can't do it because I don't have time. So I would need someone to kind of head that. So if you know any good TikTokers out there that are
It's a tough platform. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, we have
It's
some girls
crazy.
here that are pretty they're they're more like TikTok savvy, so I think I might, recruit them to do some stuff. But I think we could do some really cool stuff on TikTok, and I have a couple ideas for some different videos and stuff. It's just finding the time right
Yeah.
now. Crazy.
Yeah, whenever I talk to somebody that has like a product or a service like kind of like yours, I feel like you have to be on TikTok now. I feel you can.
Yeah, it was like Instagram was for a while, like,
Yeah.
you know, uh, now it's TikTok. And
Yeah.
um, one of my good friends, she's a really big food blogger, and she just got TikTok, and her first video she put up, I think had like 1 million views. And I'm just like, uh, what? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy, but yeah.
It's
So
wild.
maybe selling Shay on TikTok coming soon.
Um, Now can you tell a little bit about the competition in your area and kind of, maybe what you guys do differently?
Yeah. So actually I will say one thing, that during COVID, I actually connected with some pretty amazing other like salon and spa owners. And we would have Zoom calls and just to like kind of talk about what was going on, talk about plans for when we did reopen, questions anyone had, concerns, anyone that was like dealing with anything. And I will say that's the biggest amount of support that I felt from like the salon and spa community since we opened. It was really great. I still go to a lot of them about if something comes up. They come to me if something comes up. And you really need people like that. And I know some people look at it as like it's tough when you're doing exactly the same thing, but really no one is doing the exact same thing. Everyone is doing things differently and for a different purpose. So for us, I think one thing that really sets us apart is we have a huge nail team. So we have this great hair team, and then on top of it, we have this huge, wonderful nail team, which a lot of hair salons, they have, one nail person or two nail people. They don't have like a whole nail team. So we have
Hmm.
a lot of bridal parties in that aspect. We also do focus on all natural nails. So we don't do any acrylics, but there are some salons in the area that do acrylics and they kill it. And if people call and they ask where to go, I send them there because I know they do a great job, and that's just not a service we offer. Um, but I mean, I think with anything, no matter, I think we're all human and there is competition. Um, I just think there is, but I just try to like stay out of it and just kind of, I don't want to say, I don't really like the um, phrase like stay in your own lane, but like I just kind of try to focus on what's best for us and our team and like our growth, because we've grown a lot and we can always improve. Like that's something, like if someone ever gives us feedback, I'm always like, we are always looking to improve in any way possible. And that'll be from now until I'm 100. We'll always be looking to how can we improve, what can we do better. And I think that's where sometimes businesses lose it, is they get to a certain point and they're like, we're great, we don't need to do
Hmm.
anything else. And that's just not the way it is, and it's not the way I feel. So I mean, I think there definitely is competition in some aspects, but I think also there is a great sense of community. And I think you should find people in your community, near and far, that you can talk to about certain things, because there are certain things you can't discuss with employees. Like you need to talk to someone who's maybe been through it or had a situation that's similar, and how did they handle it.
Hmm.
So I have some friends that own salons out of state, far away, that I can talk to. And now I have this core little group in right here in Cleveland I can go to too. And I'm really thankful for that. And that's another, I guess, beautiful thing that came out of COVID, was now I have this little um, group that I can, go to if I need something.
Hmm. Of salon owners, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really is. I mean, the community over competition is such a big thing right now. And it is that, but there will always be competition.
Yeah.
And I think us as humans, we will always feel like, oh, like someone has this or someone's doing this. And it's just human. But finding a good solid group of people, and I think it's important as a business owner to be friends with other business owners, same, um, even in different uh industries,
Hmm.
like now we have I have several business owner friends that own all types of businesses, and it's good to just get with them sometimes, away from your employees, away from everyone, and just talk about other things business related, because they kind of had that same, those wheels are turning for them too. So when you
Hmm.
sit down with them, you can sometimes some great magical conversations happen just from, but it doesn't necessarily need to be right. Like it doesn't need to be like 10 salon owners. Like I have
Mhm.
friends that own fitness studios. I have friends that own clothing companies. I have friends that own landscaping business, pizza shops, um, all sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
So it's good to kind of have um, that group of people that you can kind of brainstorm with and talk about future ideas and say like, hey, am I crazy or do you think this would work?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things kind of intersect with each other. So, and it's like a
Absolutely.
different outside part of your
Yeah.
bubble where you can get feedback and see what worked for them and what hasn't. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think on your comment that like competition is human nature, I feel a lot of businesses just try to put out the best product they can, and it's just competition in that way that you're
Mhm.
just trying to always improve. So
Absolutely.
I totally agree with. It's not like you're going out to you know put this
Yeah.
other business out of business.
No, definitely.
You're just trying to.
Definitely.
That could be a byproduct, I guess, but that's not
Yeah.
like your intention really. For
Yeah.
most people, there's some crazy people out there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
now from an industry trend standpoint, where do you see everything kind of going towards? Is there anything that looks coming on the horizon at all, or?
You know, I would normally have probably a whole bunch of answers to that, but normally we get all that insider info from shows and we haven't been able to go to any. So there are two scheduled at the end of this year that we're kind of tentatively planning to attend. Just because we haven't, it's been now. So we actually went to a show last January and it was the first time that we saw people wearing masks in like the airport. It was really interesting. And I was like, this is, whoa, people really think this is serious. Like this is, it was just very interesting. We had flown out to LA. It was like the same week that Kobe Bryant died. It was a weird week. Got there. We didn't even realize how close we were staying to the Staples Center. We went to this show. Everything was normal, but like traveling wise, there were a lot of people in masks. And I remember thinking like, is this really like we just didn't know at that time. That was
Yeah.
end of January. So that was the last show that I went to. And that show really, it wasn't great. I mean, and sometimes you go to them and they're not great. You just, it is what it is. But we're anxious to go and learn and see some new things because I think everyone thing was kind of put on halt this past year. And so there's been a few new things coming out, but nothing to like talk too much about just because there hasn't been any shows. I mean, brow laminations for us has been a real big hit. That's kind of a trendy service right now that we offer. But yeah, I don't know. We have a lot of education planned for the team this year. Now that people like last year, people were just like, nope, we're not doing anything. Everything was online. Now people are more comfortable getting back into the store, into the salons, doing education. So I think we have 3 classes for sure scheduled. So hopefully that will bring some new, like trendy, upcoming uh, styles to us. But yeah, it's been tough because we're so education focused and we're so about like what's next, what are we going to be learning, what's going to come out. And without that, I mean, it does feel like we're kind of in this weird like lull with that.
What do you mean by education? Are you teaching or?
So yeah, we'll go. We have an educator from New York City coming here in April to teach a nail class. We have an educator from Arizona coming in August to teach a hair class, and then we're going to Columbus for another nail class, to an educator that we've been to before. So we have to do continuing education hours for our licenses, and we do a ton of education within Stella and Shay, whether it's going or having educators in. And we just like we haven't had any of that, in a year. So we actually had a huge class planned for like the end of March, and we closed, the middle of March.
Mhm.
So that had to get canceled. We kind of put it on the back burner, thinking, oh yeah, we'll have it like later this summer. And the educator was coming from Canada, and of course, she couldn't travel, so that was that was canceled. So I think the team is really looking forward to these classes coming up. And Cleveland is starting to offer some classes here and there at different salons that some of my girls have been going to now that
Mhm.
people feel a little more comfortable with being in person.
Mhm. As the owner, where do you spend the most of your time?
Oh gosh. um Like, do you mean like in my office or like at which location
Well, I guess day
or
to
like
day,
on
what is the biggest thing that you work on constantly, or just right now? What are
yeah.
you focusing on right
Well, right
now?
now I would say it's Pittsburgh, getting
Good.
Pittsburgh up and open. We've been interviewing people there. We just had all our furniture delivered there. So right now I'm kind of back and forth, like 1 week there, 1 week home, 1 week there, 1 week home. I got back Saturday. I'm leaving again tomorrow night. I'll be there for 2 days, come back. Um, so right now I would say it's kind of back and forth. Pittsburgh right now is our big push. We also just brought a brand new brand into Westlake, which is Dauboness. And so that has been a focus for the past couple weeks, just getting prepared for that. Um, but yeah, I would say, and my day to day just honestly is never the same, which I think is what I like. One day I might be more on the floor, like talking with guests and doing some stuff with retail. Other times I'm solely in my office and you never see me leave. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 4 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything all day. Or, sometimes I work from home. Um, it's a lot of things. It's scheduling, it's ordering, it's request soft, it's scheduling
Hmm.
vacation. It's I have a wedding director, but we do still communicate about all the weddings. So sometimes, it's doing stuff with the weddings. It's a lot. My day to day is never the same, but I wouldn't change that.
Is it kind of seasonal? I don't know. Is it like
Yeah.
cyclical kind of?
Um, Not really. I mean, nothing is super, I mean, we plan for a lot, but things come up. And I don't know. I guess, of course, our busy season is November, basically beginning of November till the end of December. So usually November and December is pretty busy. Hopefully this November, December will be looking a lot better than last November, December.
Hmm.
We'll have an even busier holiday season, but holiday is a big one we prep for, and we actually start that in like July,
Mm.
which is crazy. So we start putting in like all of our holiday ordering in July, which seems nuts because it doesn't even come till October. But that's kind of when everything starts to like roll out. And it's one of those things like if you don't commit to buying it, you're not going to get it. Um, so yeah, seasonal, yeah, there's some points in the year where I feel like we're kind of like just chill and quiet. And then I feel like there's other points in the year where it's like go, 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 go crazy. You
Hmm.
know, summer will start to pick up on weddings for us. So that is kind of a busier time. And people in the summer too want more like pedicures and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So that's always really big in the summer. Um,
Um, yeah. Outside, is there any other big holidays outside of like Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Not for us. Spring break is usually a big one just because a lot of families and stuff go on vacation.
Mm.
So a lot of people coming in and getting their services before that. But this year I know it's probably split. Some families are probably traveling and some are probably staying home. So it'll be interesting because that's probably coming up here probably pretty soon, right? Spring break, usually middle of March. Yeah,
I
I mean,
I think so.
yeah. Yeah. So probably, middle of March, which is right around the corner into like April with Easter, we'll probably see some like people coming in to get ready for spring break. But um those are the only two, and New Year's, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's are all things I feel like people want their hair and their nails and their brows done for. But other than that, I don't think there's any other holiday that really like spikes, a huge um interest, I
Hmm.
guess.
Okay. Not even Valentine's Day? Is that you see some
Okay,
people
yeah.
there?
Yeah, Valentine's Day, yes. I
Okay.
think Valentine's Day, yes. I think we do a lot of nails around Valentine's Day. That's a big one. Um a lot of people get engaged around Valentine's Day, so we do a lot of nails
Mm.
around then. And that's another reason like holidays, a lot of engagements around holidays, so people want their nails looking good. Hair stays consistent pretty much year round, except for right in like May, I feel like we get hit with a big rush of people wanting to go blonde. So that is, yeah, because everyone like wants to be a little bit lighter for
Oh,
summer.
okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, so we see that, and winter, I would say we see some a little bit more on the facial side with people like with dry skin, needing facials for like hydration. So I think things do come and go seasonally, like you just asked, when I think about it. Um, nails year round, hair year round, but just different specific things people are looking for. Like then, September comes and we start to get those fall vibes and people are like, oh, I want my hair to be dark now. So we
Mhm.
have those two kind of transition times where people are looking to go lighter and then people are looking to go darker.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Um, as we wrap up, what is one thing that you wish you knew before you started, and then what is one of your greatest successes as a business owner?
Okay. Um, so one thing I wish that I would have known or would have, okay.
Differently or
Yeah. Yeah.
anything? It's not a strict question.
Yes. Okay. So one thing that I wish I would have known is just how much I would be working. My husband always says that my hours are from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. I've gotten a lot better, but there are just some times where, things just happen and it's a lot. But I try to give myself breaks here and there. And, I have a really great management team that takes a lot of my workload and we spread it out. And so it's definitely more balanced than it was. Of course, now with Pittsburgh opening, it's not, but once that's open, it can go back to
Hmm.
normal. Another thing I wish that this is like a big um this I tell this to anyone that's going to open a business is like set your policies immediately. Like whatever, your cancellation policies, your refund policies, your return policies, um, any sort of policy that you have or want, set them before you even open because we open kind of with very loose policies and then a year, 2 years down the road, we were like, holy crap, we're getting really busy. We need like some strict rules and policies in place. And it was a little hard to kind of make that adjustment, but it was fine, but that's one thing. And then, I mean, truthfully, my biggest success is the fact I think that in this industry, there's a lot of turnover, and I have some people that I feel like will be here forever. I think for me, that's something, and like when I see my employees, um, win, basically, it's like super exciting for me. And if someone gets promoted, that's, I don't know, it is a lot. People always say like you, but it's really we. Like I couldn't do the things that we do without my managers. My
Hmm.
managers couldn't do what they do without the support and encouragement from the employees. And I think that's something that is just really remarkable. And I think I always say you can't make everybody happy. And that's really the truth. But we'll try as best as we can to do that. But there are just certain people that it's not going to work. And you
Hmm.
just kind of let those people like walk away or go. And yeah, so I think, and I mean, being able to open more than one store. I mean, I think that is something that I feel really proud of is now, we have two locations in Cleveland and now we're going out of state. And like, is this the first of many for us? Or, this could be the end. This could be it. As soon as I open a new store, they're always like, then they'll say, where's number 4 going to be? And I'll be like, oh my gosh, no. And then a year later, I'm signing a lease and like telling people like, well, I did something. But I think that Pittsburgh is definitely going to give us our challenge, a handful of challenges just with being a different state. It's 2 hours away and I can't get there in 10 minutes like I can get here. So it's definitely going to um, give me kind of, I think, a new outlook on some things, but I'm really excited about it. And I think if anyone can do it, it's our team. It's our team. And I think that, whether it takes 6 months or a year to fully get it like to where we want to be, like we have patience and everything good takes time. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Did I answer that good? Did
yeah,
I
that was
get it
great.
all? Okay.
That was great. You're fine.
Okay.
um, how can people find Stella and Shay online? How can they contact?
Yeah. So we have an Instagram. It's just at Stella and Shay, all spelled out. And then we also, you can always email us at stellaandshay@gmail.com. And then our website is just www.stellaandshay.com. You can actually book appointments right online, right from our website. And then you can also always call in. But we do a ton of online booking, and people love that they can kind of book anytime from anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then our new Pittsburgh location, our Instagram is Stella and Shay _PGH. So if you want to check that out, you can also check that out.
Rebecca Gordon, Stella and Shay Beauty Bar. Thanks for coming on. That was great.
Thank you for having me.